Meet Sophie Scholl, a 21-year-old university student with a love for books, philosophy, and music. But in 1942, her world wasn't as simple as a normal college student's life. Germany was in the grip of Nazi rule, and Sophie knew something was terribly wrong. Sophie and her brother Hans, along with a few brave friends, formed a secret group called the White Rose. Their mission? To speak out against the injustices of the Nazi regime and to awaken the conscience of the German people. Armed with typewriters and courage, they wrote and distributed leaflets all over Munich, calling for resistance against Hitler's tyranny. Each leaflet carried the risk of death, but they knew their message needed to be heard. One cold morning, Sophie and Hans decided to take a bold step. They climbed to the top floor of their university and threw stacks of leaflets over the railing, letting them flutter down like leaves. A silent yet powerful act of defiance. But their actions did not go unnoticed. The university janitor, a loyal Nazi supporter, saw them and reported them to the Gestapo. Sophie and Hans were arrested on the spot, their lives forever changed. During the brutal interrogation, Sophie refused to betray her friends or abandon her ideals. Even when faced with threats of death, she remained fearless, stating, "Somebody, after all, had to make a start." At her trial, Sophie's words were sharp and fearless. She stood against the judge and said, "What we wrote and said is also believed by many others. They just don't dare express themselves as we did." Even as she faced execution, Sophie remained calm and at peace. Her final hours were filled with love and letters to her family. She wrote, "Such a beautiful sunny day, and I have to go. What does my death matter if through us thousands are awakened and stirred to action?" Sophie Scholl and her friends of the White Rose were executed on February 22, 1943. But their courage inspired a nation. Their leaflets were smuggled out of Germany and reprinted by the Allies, becoming a beacon of hope and resistance. Today, Sophie Scholl's name stands for courage, truth, and justice. Her story reminds us that even in the darkest times, a single voice can make a difference. Her bravery still lights the way for those who believe in freedom and justice. Subscribe for more inspiring stories from history. Remember, one voice can change the world.